Okay, perfect. So let's ideally, I think people are not now dialing in. So let's start already as the recording is fully up and running. So welcome to our OCP European workstream call now in November. So also the people dialing in, you're more than welcome. So we have a full agenda again today, and let me quickly do like this. You're probably full screen here. You can see my screen now. Okay, let me jump straight to the agenda here. Just want to go through the agenda with you guys. Here you can see we have the first point is Oriol from Submer. Oriol, are you on the call already? Okay, Oriol, I can see you now. So Oriol will share some insights, what's really happening at Submer. As you know, Submer is part of the emerging cooling companies we're having here located in Europe. As you know, Submer is located in Barcelona, like Raul. Raul is also talking us through a couple of slides about his IT consultant company. Raul, as I mentioned, is also located in the beautiful city of Barcelona. And last but not least, the last agenda point for today's session, I will provide an update about what's happened at the OCP Global Summit back in October, and also some updates here in Europe. And then with the wrap up, and as usual, you're more than welcome to ask questions during the presentations, but I think it probably is also perceived well by the presenters. There's always, after the presentation, there is enough time to ask questions. Okay, let me continue here. I think these are the objectives. I will not read them out because we are sharing this presentation anyhow with you guys. I think I went through this in details a couple of times already, so you're probably aware of this. Oriol, if it's okay, hey, welcome. If it's okay with you, Oriol, I will unshare my screen and you can share your screen and just talk us through your slides. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, sure. You want me to start already?
Yeah. Let's dive in. So I will unshare now my screen, and then you should be in a position to share your screen.
Sure.
Hey, welcome.
Of course. Thank you. Welcome. And good morning, everyone. So let me go for this.
Hopefully you can share your screen without any issues.
Yeah, I'm just opening the right one.
How's the weather in Barcelona? Is the sun shining or?
Yeah, now it's still shining. We had a few days of cold temperature, but now it's again getting a bit hot. So yeah.
I envy you.
At least it's sunny.
Here is really cold in Munich. It's raining and cold.
Well, we need some rain because we are now in an extreme emergency situation. So we will start having cuts of water in a month or two if we don't have rain. So we hope we will have some rain here as well, actually.
Okay. Can you share your screen, or you need some help there, or do I need to do something possibly?
No, I'm just trying to find, because I don't know where
if you look at the bottom bar,
no, it's just the presentation. I move it from one folder to another one, and let me see if I can find it. Sorry for a second.
Otherwise, if it's helping you, Oriol, I just can click you through that slide deck, and then you just let me know when I need to change the slides. I can also share my screen again. It's fully up to you how you would like to proceed.
Give me just 20 seconds. If I cannot find it, I will ask for that option.
Possibly I surprised you a bit that we jumped right in, but I think time is precious. As you know, we have 1 hour and we have 3 presenters, and then that's why I
of course.
And you have more than 20 slides I've seen, huh?
Yeah, okay, now I found it. I will just go quick on them. No issue.
Anims, Uriol, anims.
Gracias. All right, here we go. Let me share my screen now. So
I assume you have one or two monitors, or more than one.
I have 3. Yeah, I have 3. So
okay.
Yeah. Sorry for that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect. So all yours. The floor is yours, Oriol. Please talk us through these slides.
Yeah, let me share the proper screen. Actually, we'll share the one which has the full presentation.
You have shared it a minute ago and then it's gone again.
Yeah, I know, because I clicked on present and then it just showed on the other screen. So apologies for that. I will just now show
now
the
I think
proper one.
now it's no, not yet. I think we're facing always these technical issues, huh? I would be surprised if then there would be none.
Exactly. Okay.
Now something is happening. We
It
can
is
see
now
you
okay?
now. We can see your
No,
screen.
no,
Now.
it's
Good.
We can see your desktop with the
yeah, now it's my
photo.
desktop, I guess. So the other one. And
You have too many screens there, I assume.
sorry, yes.
Now you go.
Now, okay, sorry for the delay. All right, let's go. So, well, thank you and good morning, everyone. Our company is called Summer Immersion Technologies. All we do is, well, our phrase it's data centers. That makes sense. The core company objective is to try to make more efficient data centers. As probably some of you already know, we are using the single-phase immersion technology. And with that, we try to reduce the carbon footprint, reduce the amount of electricity used to cool down the data centers that are built as we know today, and also to make possible the densities that the market are achieving upon today, to make those AI densities to hypercomputing densities be able to fit in less space, so we can accommodate all of that necessities. So I'm putting the controls here. Perfect. So the first thing we always explain is that as we know, the data centers are getting more and more power dense. There is a lot of people in the world that doesn't know that most of the data centers require from water to be cooled down. And as it's a pity, because water is typically cheaper than electricity cost in most of the countries, it's a unique resource. So one of our first objectives was to reduce this water consumption on a lot of data centers and make more efficient systems for that. Also, one of the focuses for that is that, as was commenting before, the CPUs and GPUs are getting more powerful and more dense. So in the same hand, you cannot cool with air anymore the densities that we are seeing upon today. Actually, here on the right in the screen, you have a figure of what we showcased into the last OCP Global Summit a month ago in San Jose, which is an example of an 800 or 1000 watts CPU processor that with an adapted heatsink, you can also cool it in a single-phase immersion tank. We always say that the single-phase immersion technology is the best to approach upon today, comparing to direct-to-chip or to, of course, air cooling, which is completely out of its range. But also single-phase immersion tanks are allowing the entire parts of a server to be cooled down, and not only the CPU or the GPU as a direct-to-chip cold plate will do. So now with direct-to-chip, for example, we are fixing a problem that we have today with CPUs and GPUs, but probably on the next years, when the RAM memories that already have a specific heatsinks, or also the SSDs and NVMEs will become also very, very hot, we will not be able to tackle that with direct-to-chip, or it will be really expensive. So a massive failure on the return of investment for a data center. So with that, we're covering also that point. So as I was commenting before, we are using the ASRAE, that for sure you already know, most of you. It's another society representation for data centers, liquid cooling, facilities for water. So in here, we can see that after the CPU power is requiring more than 400 watts, or actually even before, the air cooling is not any more efficient. It's not anymore the way to go, and we need to rely on liquid cooling technologies. Also, the way of using liquid cooling technologies, as we are commenting here, is that we are collecting that heat, we are collecting that amount of power, and it's not just released into the air as it will happen on a traditional data center. We are collecting that heat and that energy as hot water, and we can give a second life to that hot water to heat up a building, to sell it to a, for example, we have projects where we have people who is growing up vegetables, and they are using that hot water for that. So you are not just losing the energy, but giving a second life, which also efficients even more your PUE percentage. So just as a bit of history, Summer was born in 2015 by our two founders, Daniel Pope and Paul Weiss. And the main driver of the company, as I was commenting before, was to be sustainable, to help the environment, and to reduce the electrical and water consumption footprint that we have today with traditional air data centers. So we have one vertical driver, which is be green, be sustainable, collaborate with the world. And then we have another one, which is an enabler as well for the technology that cannot live anymore on data centers because of its density and its power. So as the benefits of, we will speak of immersion cooling. First, we have a dramatic OpEx reduction cost. So the cooling costs of having all the time the air fans, crack units, air conditioners, and chillers working to generate cold air are very high. While if you can set up our tanks between 40 and 55 Celsius, you can have the servers working in the immersion tanks with no throttling on a good environment and saving a lot of the cooling cost that you need just to cool down that water, and instead of having a lot of air conditioners pushing air through the different aisles of a data center rows. Then we have an increase of compute density. We can feed 100 kilowatts of compute in the space of what it will take like 3 or 4 vertical air racks, or even 5 sometimes. So you can have more in less space in the data centers of today. We're also, as I was commenting, environment friendly. We don't need water usage to cool down the water. We can just rely on chillers or dry coolers, which are very efficient. Actually, the dry cooler is the best option up on today. And also, even we get free cooling in cold countries where, with the pass of the air over these dry coolers, which have a heat exchanger inside, we get this free cooling. So, sorry? I thought someone was saying something, sorry. So we get a very, very good efficiency in the cooling part. I think there is someone talking.
If someone is talking, please ideally mute your microphone if possible. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, Oriol. Sorry.
No problem. Thank you, Stefan. Then we have also a better condition, better environment for the IT hardware. We don't have any moving parts. There is no vibrations. There is no dust. Everything is in the same environment on the same temperature. So what we have seen with different vendors is that the MTBF, the mean time between failure rate, is way lower in immersion tanks rather than traditional vertical air racks. And last but not least, as I was commenting, there is the integration to heat reuse solutions where you can just use that hot water for other things. So you get, at the end, an unrevealed total cost of ownership for this technology. So how this works? So this is a very just explanation image, but we will have in a data hall the immersion tanks, and we will have there the connection of the cold water and the hot water. So we will have, for example, entering cold water at 35 Celsius to have the tank at the 55 set point, which is the highest one. And then we will have the hot water returning at 40, which in the dry cooler up here on it, we will have it just again on the 35 and going down. So with a very efficient dry cooler and our very efficient summer smart pots, we can have this efficient environment where just the heat is being removed and exchanged continuously. So what makes Summer different from other tank providers, or why we are different from other tank providers? Well, so Summer, when it was born, we tried to make everything by ourselves. We didn't just use third-party fluids, or we just hired some other companies to run the software from our tanks. Or so we tried to hire all the expertise core in-house in our company. So we did not have anything, let's say, engineered outside from Summer. So we know perfectly how our tanks behave, and they are being hardware engineered. We have a team of fluid and chemistry in our labs. Actually, we will be opening our new lab in Taipei by February 2024, together with the Sausalito one in San Francisco that has been already running for a couple of years. And where we can do a lot of thermal testing, fluid testing, compatibility of materials, aging of the components. So we have different server vendor companies approaching us to understand if their components will behave properly in immersion tanks or not, which is the performance that they can run onto that comparing to air or other technologies, and also the aging of those components so they can know the MTBF as well. The same with the software engineering, monitoring for our tanks and making them compatible with the monitoring standards of the data center. So compatible with Redfish, for example, upon today, but also any other companies like, I don't know, the Johnson Controls, things like that. So you can integrate your monitoring or with Nagios or any SNMP process as well can work with this. Then we have also the advanced service offering. We are covering the maintenance support from our tanks worldwide. In some countries, we rely on third-party companies to provide this on a closed SLA. On some other ones, we have our own engineers. And last but not least, the validation IT labs, as I was commenting, connected with the fluid and chemistry, are providing testing and validation for components in immersion. All of this is sustained with the voice of the customer. We have a customer care team dedicated on running different type of questionnaires, caring about the customer opinion and feedback. So we always can improve the next generation of our product with the feedback from the customers, where they may say, look, guys, this is not working, this can be done better, this is like this, like that. So that's how our smart pods are evolving. As I was commenting before, this is just a bit short overview of our lab. So the headquarters are in Barcelona, Spain, where the company was founded. Then we have in Sausalito the labs where we work together very close with the silicon vendors, Intel, AMD, NVIDIA, to just make sure that we can dissipate concrete heat points with improved heat sinks, like the one I've showed you before. Then we have Houston, which is a facility for the crypto division. We have a lot of crypto users that are still doing they are mining with specific servers, and they count on specific immersion tanks that are also using a specific fluid for that. So in Houston, we are manufacturing all of that. Barcelona is the headquarters where there is the manufacturing, the labs. We have deduplicated everything, so it's where we are driving the entire company. And as I was commenting, we are pretending to open in Taipei the lab by end of February 2024, where a lot of OEM vendors that are based there want to do the testing, not in Barcelona, but more closely where they are. So we are opening that lab in there just for this.
Okay.
So the SmartPod is our product. What is a SmartPod? What is a submarine immersion tank? So you probably have seen some other immersion tanks. At the moment of today, one of our main differences, main drivers, is that we have the heat exchanger and the pumps inside the tank, not outside from it. So the CDU, the cooling distribution unit, it's inside the SmartPod. This is a very friendly feature that is helping the data center providers to adopt immersion cooling, because they are completely safe that there will not be any fluid leaking or outside from the tank, because all the process is happening inside the tank. Therefore, the only connections you have here is the water cold getting in and then hot water getting out, nothing else. So this is a very easy way to deploy tanks on existing data centers and help them reduce this fear they have of adopting something that is having liquid and not just air. We have the control box here that is in the left, which is having all the electrical components, the CDU that is going inside, as I was commenting, a dry zone to place switches and the cable management, and well, the tank itself. Mm-hmm. Here there is a bit more of the drawings. You can see here at the right, we have the places to position the switches, which in case the customer doesn't want to immerse them yet, because they are not just as dense as the servers. So you are losing a space that is very important for the density and to just dissipate kilowatts of power. So you can place the switches outside and then inside all of the servers. Here we have the cable management to drive the data, fiber, copper on one side, and then the power on the front with the PDUs. So it's separated. And here at the left, you can just see a picture of one of our containerized solutions where we are also providing the SmartPods bar inside a container, so you can have your data center wherever you want, move it, and have it all centralized in a specific location. Speaking about performance, so basically the three elements that define the operation of the servers inside the SmartPods, it's the temperature of the fluid that you want to define. So you can have a set point of 35, 40, 45, 50, or 55, depending on the type of servers and applications that you will be using. So, for example, for an AI GPU server, which has a lot of heat points, probably the best set point to go is 35 because it's the coldest one. So you will make sure that there will not be any affection to the performance. But on the other hand, if you're using CPU servers with HPC that they are working with no throttling at 55, you have more efficient cooling for your infrastructure, and also the servers are working the same efficient as if they will be at 35. So depending on the water inlet temperature that you will bring, depending on the flow rate that you will bring into that CDU, you will be able to define the set point, and also depending on how many kilowatts you want to dissipate. So these are just some reference numbers. Also, this is not on a best scenario, because here we're bringing 60% of water and 40% of glycol. There is customers which are based in a very cold environment. So to prevent the water to be frozen, they're using glycol. The glycol is not as efficient as the water, so it reduces a bit the efficiency, but for some countries is required. So this is just an example.
Okay.
So as we're commenting on the beginning, Summer was engineering everything since the company began. So we had our own fluid, the Summer Smart Coolant. It is true that today we're also working with other fluid companies. So we have customers that says, look, I already tried these servers, these components with this fluid, and I would like to know if this fluid can work in your tank, so we can do that like that. The answer is yes. We have fluids that we are testing and we validate for our tanks as well. For example, as you have seen in the OCP Summit, we're having Shell fluids or BP Castrol fluids, which are partners from us. So you can also run these in a Summer Smart Pot. But still, the fluid that has been engineered for more time, since a long time ago, is the Smart Coolant. So it has 7 years of testings and progress. So it's still the one we see more feasible. And we are very proud of it because, as you can see here, it's non-toxic. It's also environmentally and people-friendly. I mean, it's even qualified as a food grade. You can drop it into the environment. You can even drink a glass and nothing will happen to you. And it's biodegradable. So it's a very good fluid to capture the heat, but also at the same time is a fluid that it's zero hazardous. It's not impacting the environment or the people, comparing to a fluorocarbon or a two-phase immersion fluid. And also it's very long lasting. So if you don't pollute this fluid or you don't drop anything that can contaminate it, it will perform, and the lifespan is of 15 years. Of course, Summer, with the services that it comes with, you have for productive environments, you have yearly checks of that fluid where we're taking samples, we're analyzing those in our labs, and we will let you know if the fluid is still okay and it has all its properties to keep operating.
All right.
A bit more of data of the Smart Coolant. Well, we have the flash point on 159 Celsius, which is very good. The auto ignition point is over 300 Celsius, accomplishing with the UL requirements. So it's a very safe fluid. And as I was commenting before, it's non-toxic. It's the electric, of course. It's classified also as a key 3 fluid according to ISC 60100. So all of the elements that a fluid could generate a concern for the people who is operating servers in a data center are covered. You don't need to wear any mask. It's not generating any evaporation of toxic elements. So all of that is covered. So it's perfectly ready to go for data centers. So the SmartPod. What is the SmartPod and what is OCP? Here we are stepping already inside of what we are having as a connection with OCP as an immersion tank provider. This year we presented actually in the Global Summit the SmartPod Open Rack version 3. Before we had the Open Rack version 2, and now we are connecting this with the Open Rack version 3 because it's also allowing Summer to have more density in our tanks. So basically what we have done is a vertical air rack. We just turn it horizontal. We define where the negative and the positive is, and then we just place the busbars in the bottom of the tank according to that, and respecting some safety elements that you will see, and then installing power shelves vertically that are providing the power to the servers. This is also helping a lot for a lot of deployments, as you will see afterwards, because you don't need to rely on a lot of power cables that are connected to a single server, because the power is distributed over the busbar, so it's a more clean environment to operate immersion tanks. This is how the busbar is placed. This is a vision from the let's say so from up of the tank. This will be the bottom of the tank actually, and the busbar is in the center. We can host one busbar or we can host 3 busbars to just have more redundancy or to distribute the density of the power in our tank. So this is a 100 kilowatts busbar, but it also can be on 3 on the corners, as you will see. So this is how it will look, right? Here in the right, we still have the picture of the SmartPod, and you can see 1, 2, 3 busbars connected, the positive and the negative connected here. And then here you can see how in the bottom of the tank, a power shelf, for example, will stop in the corners here, in the left and on the right. Sorry, I just realized I'm not using the pointer, so you are not seeing what I'm, sorry, here. And the right and in the left, you have the stopper. So the power shelf over the server will stop here. The connection of the clip will just connect to each busbar like lean and connected, and there will not be any, let's say, force affecting the busbar or having a lot of weight in here. This is the ecosystem that we designed for the Open Rack version 3. So you can see that in a SmartPod XL Plus, you can have 100 kilowatts of compute. So we can have 99 nodes of 1 kilowatt each, like here. Then we have the power shelves, which are providing 54 kilowatts each. So with 2 power shelves, you can have the entire SmartPod ecosystem with 100 kilowatts of compute. And then, as I was commenting before, the switches can be placed in the corners here or here outside from the tank. So this is the power shelf providing 54 kilowatts and all of the PSUs inside. This is the other power shelf providing the 54 kilowatts with all of the PSUs inside. And those are 1 OU, 3 nodes servers, which are connected and installed in the SmartPod XL Plus. Here you can see this is, for example, an Asus model that we have been testing and validating this year, which is having the 3 nodes vertically in 1 OU. And this is the Murata power shelf that we also tested and validated this year, which is providing the 54 kilowatts. Each PSU is providing 3.6 kilowatts and it has no fans already. It's made for immersion. But Murata also shared with us that the next year they're expecting to reach 5 kilowatts per PSU because they are seeing that the immersion environment is a very good environment to run this, so they don't have the limitations in air, and it's enough to go with that. So we will have more density in less space. So again, we will be able to provide more power in less space. This is a 3 OU power shelf. So with 6 OUs, we can power 100 kilowatts in our tank. Other advantages that we have seen of the full immersion environments are the connectors and the bus bars. They are placed, as you have seen, in the bottom of the tank. So comparing to air, we can bring 900 amps on a bus bar in immersion and connectors, and barely it will not reach more than 23, 24, 25 Celsius. While if we will just put, for example, 700 amps in an air environment, we'll be going over 110 Celsius on the connector on the busbar, which is not very good. So, as again, the immersion environment is helping all of the components, which after getting a lot of power or processing, they will become very hot. This is helping the environment, so it's a perfect place to immerse all of this. So, as I was commenting, for us as a tank manufacturer, as a tank provider, the Open Rack version 3 provided a very good advancement, which is also increasing the voltage from 12 to 48 and 54. We know that in the Open Rack version 2, this voltage was also available, but actually no one was using it. But now the server vendors are installing the power distribution boards inside the servers to reduce from 48 to 12 or 5 or 3, and make the current distribution over the busbar more efficient. So the key factors from our point of view is that, first of all, we are reducing the size of the power shelf. So before we needed 3 OU just to give 27 kilowatts. Now in 3 OU we can give 54, so the double of it in the same space. Also, the capabilities of the busbars, as we have just shown you, they are better in immersion, allowing more temperature and amperage distribution through the same materials. This is the cut of the tank where you can see the fluid direction, which is going like this in a cycle. So we have a very cold zone in the bottom, and as long as the fluid goes up, here is a bit more warmer. Still, though, it's inside the set point that you can define in the tank. We have no power. Sorry
to interrupt you, Oriol. Just want to highlight, we need to have also some time for questions. Just want to...
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
It's just the 2 last slides, and we'll go very quick on those.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you.
Sure. So as I was commenting, as an advantage, there is no power cables because everything is connected through the power shelf, which is providing the power here. So you just insert the servers and you don't need to have cables going out. We have a same tank design for everything because the OCP is respecting the 800 millimeters. So we don't need to be adapting the tanks depending on the changes that the IT hardware industry is changing during the time. And also there is no screws required to install or remove the IT hardware inside the tanks because there is not... They are just following the rails and stopping in the bottom of the tank, so you don't need to use the screws that can fall in the bottom of an immersion tank that can generate a risk, like we will be speaking of the 19-inch AIA brackets. So to close, what makes Summer different? As a summary, we have 7 years of technical experience and innovation. We have these core technologies in-house and advanced service department. We are evaluating our product depending on the customer feedback. We can make different mission-oriented or tailor-made projects based on what the customer needs. We are ready to deploy from POCs up to megawatt deployments that we have already had over Europe. And the most important part is that we are also having all the procedures to immerse the servers, how to operate the tanks, how to maintain them. It's not just something that is a new technology and we're leaving up to every customer or data center provider, but we can guide you through all of that. And also we are compatible, as I was just showing to you, with the OpenRAC version 2 and version 3 ready solution that I think we are a bit unique on that, and we are still betting a lot for it. So thank you for that, and sorry for getting a bit of overtime.
No worries. Great presentation. And apologies from my side for pushing you a bit in terms of timekeeping. I realized you became faster and faster at the end. So questions from the group to Oriol, since we have him here now live in the call.
Yeah, hi everyone, it's Lesia speaking. I'm with OCP. So Oriol, thank you so much for your presentation. Really interesting, especially the part on the OpenRAC. So my question is, do you have the cases of deployment of OpenRAC v3 in Europe? And if you do, can you share some examples or insight that you're getting from the customers?
So we have deployed the OpenRAC version 2. For example, we have in Italy deployments. We have also in Sweden some deployments, and I think also in the UK. Actually, we were presenting in the OCP Global Summit 1 with our partner. You may know him from Riese, John Summers. He's also running some panels sometimes. So he's using our technology with OpenRAC version 2. And also the European Commission in Italy has a very long deployment with OpenRAC version 2 that it did not have the power elements, the PowerShell, the PSU did not have even one failure for 3 years in production, which we are very happy with. Now that we presented the OpenRAC version 3 in the OCP Global Summit, we already got another customer from Italy as well approaching to us to deploy more tanks with this. So far, what we have done with the OpenRAC version 3 are testings, and we did not start it yet with any deployment. But as soon as we will have another one, we'll let you know and share some data for sure.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Oriol, just a supplement to this. So if someone, let's say in Italy, in the UK, or in Sweden, Scandinavia, would like to have a look at it, is it possible? And then can he or she come back to you and ask you if it's feasible to have a look at this, or is it not possible at this point?
Yeah, sure. I mean, the installation of Italy is belonging to the European Commission, so we are not having visits allowed. But for the partner that we have in Sweden, I think that, yes, it's very possible. They have just a lab just for this. It's open probably to visits, and there is no issue with that. So we can just schedule that and then prepare it with no issue, yeah.
And in Barcelona?
In Barcelona, yeah, of course, in our headquarters, we have a showroom where we have all of our products and showcase there. So, of course, yes, there is the OCP SmartPod as well, where everything is connected and installed and working. So if someone would like to come to Barcelona, we also can drive them to our showroom.
Sounds good. Oriol, also further questions from the group to Oriol?
Hey Oriol, this is Matti from Circle B. I got a question. So how immersion friendly are the OCP vendors typically? I mean, what happens when you have equipment in your tanks and it fails from a warranty perspective with fluids? Can you share a little bit of experience on that front?
Yes, I guess you are referring to the server part, right? Yeah, okay. So what we are seeing is that, NVIDIA or Intel or AMD, which are the main, let's say, high cost elements for immersion, are starting to provide warranty for some small things. So we got a conversation actually in the Global Summit with AMD, and they told us that for big projects, if we go with them, they will provide warranty to those components. We have seen NVIDIA already providing warranty for the direct-to-chip elements, so soon we will have them again for single-phase immersion. But what we are doing now at the moment for the customers which are deploying today servers for immersion, we have companies, let's say more Taiwanese companies based there, that just to take out the market that HP, Dell, Lenovo, the big ones are having now in the air that is very stressed, just to take this market out from them, they are providing warranty on a small margin for the project. So as I'm saying, there is companies in Taiwan that they are providing the warranty to all of the components on single-phase immersion on the project on their own cost, because they want to take this immersion market by them. So when later on HP, Dell, Lenovo will just join this market, it will be already owned by these Taiwanese companies. So I can share some names like Gigabyte, for example, or Asus, Quanta, Ywind companies. We're working with them and they are providing this up until today.
Yeah, Oriol, just to follow up on Matty's question, in terms of proportion between the 21-inch servers and 19-inch servers, how would you rank the demand from the client for the Europe again?
Well, so there is customers which are saying we prefer to use 21-inch. Sometimes doesn't need to be OCP just because we have more space. So for the HPC, it's allowing us to have more nodes, more memory, more CPUs. So we have, let's say, 60% still maybe, or 60-70% 19-inch, and 30-40 starting with the 21-inch, sorry, OCP, or just, let's say, normal power traditionally. So it depends very much on the type of the customer. The hyperscalers prefer one thing, the CSP, cloud service providers, prefer another one. Universities for investigation or public governments are very traditional. So it depends actually on the type of customer and the type of data center.
Okay, thank you.
Of course.
All right, guys. I think if there are more questions, I think Oriol will be happy to answer it to you. Also send him an email or text him. I think we need to continue. Yeah. Raul is already waiting to share his part. So Oriol, can you possibly unshare your screen? Is that possible?
Sure. Yeah.
And then Raul, you can go ahead and share your screen and just talk us through your slides. So perfect. Raul is also sharing. It's too good to be true. Raul, yeah, please talk us through. As you know, Raul having his own IT consulting company. He used to work for Submer. He has also a great network within the data center industry. And yeah, Raul, please.
Raul, you need to switch the screen mode, please.
Now we can see David.
Yes,
Perfect.
now better. Thanks.
Raul, it's all yours. Please go ahead. Are you still there? Maybe you need to unmute your phone, possibly, Raul.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's a classic one. Yeah, it's shorter than the other one. Okay, thank you so much for the introduction, Stefan. So yeah, you know me very well here in the OCP community. I'm involved in many projects, helping David on the immersion cooling hurdles, as you said, Stefan, ex-Submarian, and very well connected to the data center and sustainability ecosystem in Europe. Let me walk you through and let me tell you about Acer, which is actually the consulting company that I'm working with at the moment. I'm going to be short and brief and to the point on this. So let me just move to the next one. There you go. So the focus of Acer is to be your European partner in sustainable digital transformation. And the main focus areas and the main activities are actually around consulting, technical solution developments, business development, and market analysis and sales processes. I mean, that sounds very cold, but it is actually the core values and the core, let's say, the main way that we bring, let's say, that we bring value to the market. In terms of, let's say, the segments, the technological segments that we work with is open source cloud platforms, enterprise solutions, data center solutions, and then we are working closely on research and high performance computing and high throughput computing. We are heavily focused on sustainability and circularity because this is actually the way to go, and mostly on the data center space. So helping our customers be ESG conscious, helping them along the way on that path, adopting different technologies, different let's say solutions to be able to match those metrics. And as you may know, this is going to be, and it's actually being, let's say, the main topic about data center growth in Europe. Not only that, I mean, it's not about ESG, but it's all about how you can, let's say, compensate that carbon emissions. And circularity and circular economy solutions are actually a great way to do that. So we are pushing circular economy solutions to the European market, mostly based on OCP. And you will hear about one let's say, case, one example case that I'm working right now at the moment in the DACH region. But let me follow through on this. And it's about innovation as well. So and actually OCP, it's actually a great part of it. So how we can convince the European market to adopt OCP. So heavily involved into that discussion here with David, here with you, Stefan, and the rest of the OCP European team to make the case for OCP adoption in the European region. As you may know, we are actually not only bringing value for hyperscalers, which is actually the let's say the standard use case about OCP, but how we are able to look farther than hyperscalers, and how we can bring this to MSPs, to enterprises, to let's say telecommunications companies, how we can, let's say, scale down the hyperscale let's say use case and build innovative solutions around OCP. Most of those they are apparent and they are being worked at the moment, but it's all about that, and that has to do with data center design and cooling. Not only that, next generation interconnects and high performance computing and scheduling, and a very important, let's say, innovative solution that we are taking as well is how to help companies, let's say, utilize already existing HPC resources. And here we are talking about Euro HPC. Here we are talking about the PRAISE initiative, ETP for HPC as well. And just to be honest, it's how we bring value, but we are doing it because we love it. That's the main focus. And all in all, it's not about technology anymore. It's about what we do and how we bring together, and how technology brings together people and business. So Open Compute Foundation, I already spoke about, SDIA, but not only that, the way we work with our customers is that we try to foster those relationships if we identify opportunities where that value can be brought. So it's about supporting and fostering business ecosystem with us. And I know that this phrase here, we are more than the sum of our parts, is actually a very, very beautiful one. But that's actually one thing that I really believe in. And yeah, this is what we do at Acer. And just for you to know, I mean, the name of the company is about the market segments that we are working with. So you can actually read that this is actually enterprise, industrial, science, and research. So this is Acer. This is the webpage, and I'm happy to answer your questions here.
All right, many thanks, Raul. Questions to Raul from the group.
Raul, I have one question.
Sure,
how OCP solutions are help to create the circularity and to be more environmental friendly, I mean, to reduce scope 3 emissions. Can you share that?
Yeah, I can actually share a very good example, and actually this is the one that I just told you about, that I'm going to talk about. It's all about let's say partnering with companies that what they are actually doing is taking a good look at the let's say lifetime or amortization period of those, let's say, hyperscale solutions, and they are helping build another ones in that sense. So to put it mildly, it's all about helping and helping companies to reutilize existing equipment that was built for hyperscalers, to bring, let's say, circular solutions to the market. This actually has a twofold effect. First of all, you can actually talk about carbon footprint reduction, because you are not producing, let's say, and you are not buying brand new equipment, which has to be produced, and then carbon emissions will be generated to actually not only operate that equipment but to build that equipment. So you are actually, let's say, extending the lifetime of that and the usefulness of that equipment. But at the same time, in terms of business, we are talking about massive cost reductions in terms of using that equipment. And this brings me to one of very nice example that I'm actually working with at the moment. It's not only about this excellent project that we're working together with you, David, and Stefan, and many others here to produce, let's say, modular solutions, modular data center solutions with circular hardware, and make the most of that combined heat compute. But at the same time, in the DACH region, there's actually one data center operator called Scale Up, based in Hamburg and in Berlin, that they are actually, let's say, investing and creating one of the first, let's say, cloud offerings for enterprise, and let's say, based on circular economy OCP equipment. So all in all, they are Scale Up is actually more than happy to bring people to their facilities. They are actually one of the first, let's say, it's the OCP experience centers, and many here on the call know about them. They actually organized an excellent, let's say, event the other day to actually explore that experience center and discuss about the European OCP ecosystem.
That's right. So if I may add, yeah, as you guys know, and following us on a regular basis, we had our first call. There was Christoph from Scale Up, Christoph Streit. He also done an update, what they're doing, what great things they're doing at the site in Berlin, Hamburg, and they have also one in Düsseldorf in Germany. But of course, the OCP Experience Center, that's correct. It's in the data center site in Berlin, Mahlsdorf. Yeah, so you're always welcome to have also a look. And just get in touch with, let's say, Raul or myself, or directly with Christoph if you would like to experience and have a touch and feel experience at the OCP Experience Center. And again, I'm really happy that you guys have been mentioning circular economy, because in the end of the day, circular gear in combination with open source software, which is dematerializing the hardware. This is a big step forward to decarbonize the data center industry. I think this is always what we are also driving here in Europe, as we at the sustainable front, so to speak. Let's say liquid cooling, emerging cold plate cooling, AI. This is driven from the US and also from China. Yeah, but we are the guys who are at the sustainability front. Yeah, I think this is always our benefit towards the industry. Yeah. All right. Further questions to Raul. Sorry, guys. Yeah, but you can see his website there, the URL address here. Yeah, please get in touch with Raul if you have further questions directly, and you can have a chat with Raul. He's more than welcome to have a video call with you if needed. Yeah, if required. All right. So Raul, many thanks again.
Let me stop the
Can you unshare your screen, and then I will share my last screen? I think we have 10 minutes left.
Yeah.
I keep it also. I can let me quickly have a. Okay. Let me share my screen again here. Let me. No, let me access this one. Just go to my last slides here. There you go. Almost there. Okay. Hoppala. Okay, a quick update. The last couple of slides. So I think some of you guys have also been at the OCP Summit as the 17th and 19th of October. Raoul, Lesia were there, of course, when I can recall correctly. Oriol, some of the guys, and also from Circle B, there were some colleagues. It was the largest OCP Summit so far. I think, please correct me, guys, but I think around 4,500 people were really attending. So it's getting bigger and bigger by year. So possibly next year we're approaching 5,000. The big topic was AI as a no big surprise, and of course liquid cooling, emerging cooling, and of course or cold pack cooling. Here's some expressions you can also see on the right hand side. I was always saying the godfather of emerging cooling. It's Rolf Brink. As you know, Rolf, he had also a session here at our European call, and he's leading the emerging cooling work stream or call at OCP. And here, all under this link, you possibly also are aware of all video recordings of all sessions and the presentations are available. It's an open community here, and we are sharing. So please have a look there. And there are also some numbers. You can look at how many people attended, from which region they came. They came, I think 70% were actually from the US, but, and this is, I think, also a good number, almost 20, I think 17 or 18% from the participants were actually from Europe. Hang on. And here a bit more impressions here for those who could not join. We managed together, so Lesia, David and myself, we managed this European meetup, for the European community here at the concourse level in the lobby area. Sorry, let's go back. And you can see here, I think I like this picture a lot, because only at this one table, I think we had 3 or 4 tables there. There were people, if I counted correctly, from 9 different countries. So I think you can really see like an international meetup here, especially from Europe, but there were also people, let's say, from other regions, from India and so on, coming to our little European corner there at the OCP Global Summit. Okay, so a bit of also promotion here. Next week we will be in Dublin. So we will have an OCP booth at the Data Center Island exhibition and conference, which is taking place for 2 days next week, on Wednesday and Thursday, the 22nd and the 23rd of November, in the beautiful city of Dublin. We have a booth there. At the first conference day, we will do. We have a 1-hour speaking slot there. We are kicking off with a presentation followed by a panel discussion. You can see also here on the right-hand side the panelists who will join us there, and the topic is combined heat compute, how to decarbonize the data center industry. So if you are joining also Dublin, I think Raoul, you have been also thinking to join. You're more than welcome here.
I will be there, guys.
Sounds good. So on Tuesday evening, I will also share an email with the guys I'm aware joining. We will have also, let's say, we're meeting up for a joint dinner in a nearby pub. Have 1 or 2 Guinness and something to eat. All right. Just so this is also like a promotion here, what's happening next week. And last but not least, I would like to highlight that we having, after the Global Summit now in October, we are approaching the regional one. The regional one happening in April, the 24th and the 25th of April, in the beautiful city of Lisbon in Portugal. So it's not around the corner, but it's not so far out. So there will be more communication also from the global team, what's happening there, and when presentations can be submitted. So as usual, I'm emphasizing this here for the European lads. Please also share some knowledge here. I think it's not as big as a global one, of course. It's a bit more smaller and family, but I think the quality is also still good. So as soon as the submission is opened, or the opening for submission is there, then yeah, please feel free to submit your presentations there. So I think that's about it. Yeah.
Stefan would like to add some more regarding the events and participation. So also this week, OCP will be at the Data Center World Paris. So in case if we do have some people from Paris interested to join the event, please visit and join our panels in Paris for Data Center World. And another event that will be later this month, actually November 23rd, is in Frankfurt, Germany, on open source cloud strategies, organized by Sardinia Systems. So again, we'll have the presentation from OCP. If you're interested, I believe participation in both events are free, but you need to register. So you're welcome to attend if you would like to, and join the OCP speaking slots.
Perfect. I think, David, you will also join the Data Center World in Paris.
Yes, I will be there both days, tomorrow and next day, and we're happy to participate.
Great, very good. When it comes to our next session in December, it's at the 12th of December. We have already a great lineup in place. I would like to share with you, we having Stijn Grove from the Dutch Data Center Association joining us at the 12th of December. We will have, this has also been mentioned by Raoul, Max Schulze. He's heading up the SDIA, the Social Digital Infrastructure Alliance. He will also do and share some insights, what these guys are doing there. And last but not least, my dear friend David will also share a slide deck about again the global summit and what and mainly on liquid cooling, from my understanding. Right, David? This is your intention.
Yes, I will talk about the decarbonization, how liquid cooling give opportunity to do that, and about the heat reuse also. Okay,
great. Just the last comment here, as you know, the video recording is available. Hopefully during today, I will share it on our wiki page, as well as all the presentations will be available. And I also communicated it out to you guys. So you're more than happy to have a look. And also, especially those guys who could not join today, they are more than welcome to have a look at the video recording. All right. Further questions before we close today? Or comments? Obviously not.
Everything is good. Everything is good. Presentation was good. Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys. So I hope you enjoyed it. You have a nice week, and I look forward, if I'm not seeing you next week in Dublin, I look forward to our next session at the 12th of December.
Thanks.
All right, guys.
Many
thanks very much.
guys.
You take care.
Cheers. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.